Hey guys, Dr. J here. In the previous episode we completed the main game, but there are still quite a few achievements we need to unlock in the Challenge Rooms DLC. Here's how we can access it. Okay, so in order to access the Challenge Rooms, we must go to Additional Content from the main menu. From there we can choose each of the 3 available Challenge Rooms. The first 2 have only one difficulty setting, and the third one has the same difficulties as the main game. We'll start off with the first one, the Eye in Theme. For each of the challenge rooms, I'll make 2 runs. The first will take care of most of the achievements, while the second one will be for unlocking the time-based achievement. It's basically impossible to unlock all the achievements in a single run. The time attack is very strict and doesn't really give you any leeway. The setting for all the challenge rooms is introduced by our favorite madman, Sander Cohen. There really isn't much of a story per se. It's more a specific situation where you must complete certain objectives. In this one, we have to kill a Big Daddy while starting off with no weapons or plasmids. Think of it as more of a puzzle than a straight-up action challenge. Here are the Big Daddy and his little sister. We'll ignore them for now since we can't really do anything to him. I mean, we don't even have a wrench, so obviously we can't defeat him now. Gathering all available components is a must in this level. We'll be needing all of them very soon. The rose is the only collectible in the challenge rooms. Each of them have a certain amount of roses we must collect in order to unlock an achievement. This is pretty much a demonstration that shows what happens if we cross this bridge willy-nilly. Basically what we need is a way to fool the turrets so we can pass in front of them. Let's continue this way and see if we can't find some kind of a tool we can use to pass the bridge. There are a couple of Eve hypos on the ground here we can collect. And now we go up these stairs. We can use the frozen Big Daddy as a platform to reach the plasmid over there. Jumping is a bit finicky in Bioshock, but at least I managed to clear the gap. This challenge room really made me appreciate the target's dummy plasmid. I should have been using it much more frequently in the main game. With this plasmid we can now pass in front of the turrets. We just need to cast it a few times in front of us and then run like hell. We also need to pull this lever in order to unlock the door on the left. And now we just need to spam the target's dummy plasmid while running forward. Okay, that was good. Now we just need to do it again. The target dummy is not foolproof. We still took a bit of damage, but as long as we don't die, it's fine. There are some first aid kits up ahead. Now we just need to lure this Big Daddy on top of the platform. We'll just use the target dummy again. It's a pressure switch that will unlock the door behind us. There are a few Eve hypos on the desk here, as well as the Winter Blast 3 plasmid. Now that we have obtained this plasmid, we have almost all the tools we need in order to complete the level. We just need one more component so we can create an auto-hack tool in the U-invent. The last component is in a crate at the beginning of the level. We couldn't reach it before since there is a large gap we couldn't jump over. But by luring the Big Daddy in the proper location with the target's dummy, and then freezing him with the Winter Blast, we can use him as a platform and reach the crate. And now we can do the same in order to reach another rose. We need him to move forward just a little bit more. This should be good enough. And we're almost done. Now we can go back to the U-invent and create an auto-hack tool. We'll be using this tool in order to hack the turrets and place them under our control. There are just enough components in this level to be able to craft one auto-hack tool. Now we just go to this lever and hack it. This also opens up the door so the Big Daddy can leave and get in front of the turrets. The fastest way to deal with him is to lure him with the target dummy and then freeze him. Then we can cast another target dummy on him, so the turrets are forced to fire directly at him. It's not really necessary to do it this way on this run, since we don't have to worry about how long it takes to kill him. Another barrage from the rocket's turrets should be enough to kill him. Okay, technically we're done with the level. However, there are still 2 more roses we need to pick up. So before rescuing the little sister, let's go and lose the Big Daddy. Now this next part is a bit silly. We need to go on top of the metal beams somewhere around the middle of it and shoot at the middle rocket turret with the grenade launcher. The third rose is actually inside that turret, so we need to first destroy it and then shoot another grenade so the wreckage of the turret gets blown to our side and we can loot it. Okay, the turret is destroyed. We just need to bring the wreckage over here now. There we go. Now we just need to loot it. The final rose is also hidden fairly well. We will need to go back to the pressure plate. There are hints about the location of those 2 hidden roses if you explore the level carefully. Now that we are here, we need to lure the Big Daddy on top of the plate again. But this time, we will need to freeze him in place. We need to do that so we'll have enough time to reach the rose. We are doing this because the rose is behind a panel in a wall that only opens while the pressure plate is activated. There it is. And with that we are done with this run. Let's go back to the little sister and rescue her. When we do that, we will unlock the corresponding achievements. Now it's time for the speedrun achievement. It's basically the same thing but without having to collect the roses. The time to beat is 3 minutes. First we need to get through the room with the Big Daddy. It's very important to optimize your movement as much as possible. Like I said, there's very little leeway when attempting this achievement. And we still need to collect all the components, since we'll be crafting the auto-hack tool again. We don't have to watch the sequence with the splicer getting shredded by the turrets. We can immediately drop down and go after the target dummy plasmid. Hopefully I won't have troubles making the jump. And obviously I jinxed it. Well, a couple of mistakes here and there won't fail your run, so don't worry too much about it. Now we'll be going straight through the walkway with the turrets and luring the Big Daddy again so we can grab the Winter Blast plasmid. All of this while continuing to collect the components, of course. Again, we just need to keep spamming the target dummy. It's pretty much impossible to die here, since the critical health invulnerability will save you. Got a bit stuck on that first aid kit. And on that topic, we won't bother collecting all the first aid kits and EVE hypos. We won't be needing them. We now have the Winter Blast plasmid, so there's just 2 more components left. Make that 1 component left. We'll need to use the Big Daddy as a platform again. So first we lure him with the target dummy, and when he's close enough, we freeze him. Good enough. At least this time, I made the jump the first try. And we're pretty much done now. All that's left is crafting the auto-hack tool and luring the Big Daddy in front of the turrets. I'll be using the Winter Blast plasmid to keep him in place while the turrets are attacking him. But first we need to hack the door's controls. Now we'll lure him with the target dummy again. He doesn't seem to be cooperating. Okay, let's just cast another one near him. And why did he move away from him now? This is annoying. Okay, now he's in place. Now we just need to keep him frozen until he's dead. Perhaps this was not the best place to freeze him though. It seems only one turret can attack him. Oh no, actually it was just the target dummy plasmid that has timed out. Just one more hit? Well, it was kinda sloppy, but it worked good enough. Keep in mind that you have to recast the target dummy after it runs out. With more optimized movements, a sub 230 time is not too difficult. I also forgot there was another achievement that's impossible to unlock on the first run. Completing the challenge room without destroying a turret. Anyways, we're done with the first challenge room. Time to try the second one. They do become progressively longer and more difficult. And this one, we'll have to save a little sister stuck on top of a Ferris wheel. In order to do that, we'll have to supply it with electricity so it can complete its rotation. We'll start off by immediately turning around and suiciding on the malfunctioning bathysphere controls. Then we'll resurrect in a beta chamber and can start the actual run. Similarly to the previous one, there won't really be any fighting here. We'll need a shotgun so we can use the electric bugs. Here's the malfunctioning door control. And straight ahead is the Ferris wheel.
Hey, look!
Okay, take a look at that poster and remember the number. We'll be needing it a bit later. Now let's take the elevator up a bit and collect the first rolls. This splicer dying from electricity is probably a hint on how to deal with this level. You'll see what I mean in just a bit. Now we'll jump on top of the elevator so we can reach the first rolls. Then we can press the button to go down, and before reaching back the previous floor, we should jump through the opening between the elevator shafts and collect another rolls. And now we just drop down here and continue exploring the floor. Collecting components is important in this run as well. We shouldn't need to use too many first aid kits in this level as well, but it is likely we'll be taking more damage compared to the previous one. The tonic we picked up from the bar is a unique one. It will make you a piano virtuoso. I'll demonstrate now. That was quite good. Also, before I forget, there was a trap bolt in that dead body, and we will be needing it in order to unlock all the achievements. The static discharge tonic will be the main tool for completing this challenge room. After collecting it, we can drop down through the elevator shaft to the main floor. Now, like I said, the Ferris wheel needs electricity. There are various ways to supply it. The easiest one is to use the electric bug with a shotgun. Another method would be to use a splicer to hit you and thus activate the static discharge tonic. Since we'll be standing in water, the electricity will also kill the splicer and go through to the Ferris wheel's generator. The closest splicer can be found in the toilets. The door will only open once we've electrified the Ferris wheel at least once. We can simply lure her back to the console and wait for her to attack us. Okay, that's 2 times we've electrified the Ferris wheel. In order to complete the level, we need to do it a total of 6 times. However, we'll have to electrify it an additional 3 times on top of that, so we can unlock all the achievements. And back in the toilets is where we can find the third rose. Now, continuing in a clockwise fashion, we'll find another splicer whom we can also lure to the console. Same drill as last time. And here he is. We'll be coming back to this room afterwards to collect the component in the crates as well as another rose. The positioning is not terribly important. As long as we stand in the water, it will be electrified. So that's the 3rd time. Let's go back to the room we found the second splicer in. The 4th rose is hidden here. Now we can collect the component, pick up the Eve Hypo, and we're done with this room. Next we'll be visiting the Grand Carnival. Again, we only need to continue moving clockwise. There's another rose hidden in the vent here. And this is another important plasmid. We'll be using the telekinesis quite extensively in the Grand Carnival. First, let's enter this room, open the safe and collect the crossbow inside it. This will activate the trap, but we'll just clear the trap bolts in the usual manner. Before clearing the trap bolts though, we do need to use telekinesis on one of them and bring it next to the safe so it provides the necessary electricity to open it. There we go. Now we can just pick up the large teddy bear and clear the rest of the trap bolts. After we exit, we need to go behind the kiosk across from us. There's a small fire that we can use to ignite one of the teddy bears. We can just pull one of the teddy bears from there and drop it in this fire. The reason we need to do this is not because we're secretly pyromaniacs, but since we don't have access to the ignite plasmid, we'll have to use another fire source in order to tow the ice. There's a total of 3 piles of ice we need to melt. We can collect an electric bucket and a rose from inside the broken pipe, and an auto hack tool from the floor below the grate. Those items are not optional if we want to unlock all the achievements. There's also a crate with a couple of components below the stairs. Okay, we're done in this room. In a nearby kiosk, right of here, we can find another rose hidden in a barrel. There it is. Opposite of it, we'll find some balls we can use to play a little game. Using the telekinesis plasmid and a ball, we'll have to pop a specific balloon. Inside it, we'll find rose number 8. Unfortunately, as usual, the physics engine may be an issue. It may take you several tries until the balloon actually pops. By the way, you don't have to use a ball. Any object works. I'm pretty sure I hit the balloon directly at least several times now. This is really taking longer than usual. There's also a trap bolt in the splicer pinned on the wall. We'll need it, so it's important to not forget it. Damn, I've tried getting closer, moving away, changing the angle. In the end, it's all about luck. Finally! With just one more thing we have to collect. Let's turn right and go behind the big bear statue. There are some components here, as well as a chemical thrower. There is a new event in this challenge room, but we won't have enough components if we're only using trap bolts, which is why we need this weapon as well. The code to this room is the year from the poster in the beginning. And it is the last splicer we'll need to lure to the console. We do have to go back and enter the room afterwards. By the way, don't worry about the splicer hitting you before we reach the console. As long as we're not standing in water, he won't die. Okay, so this is the 4th time we've electrified the Ferris wheel. Now let's go back to the room with the number lock. I wish there was a faster way to get back there, but there isn't. Okay, we came back here because of a crate we need to loot. And there's also the second to last rose we need, hidden on the chandelier. There it is. This is the last thing we needed to do in the Grand Carnival. Let's go back to the Ferris wheel. On the way there, we'll stop by the U-invent. First, let's hack it and then use all the components we found in order to create as much trap bolts and electric gel as we can. And by that I mean one of each. which will be just enough for our purposes. Now we have enough ammo in order to electrify the Ferris wheel 5 more times. Let's do that now. Make sure to wait until the Ferris wheel switch prompt appears before shooting at it again. I haven't tried it, so I can't be sure, but I fear you'll just waste your ammo if you don't. We can now finish the level by rescuing the little sister. However, there are still 3 more times we have to electrify the Ferris wheel in order to unlock 2 more achievements. Shooting it a 7th time will cause one of the gear wheels to blow up and to reveal the last rose hidden inside it. And electrifying it 2 more times will unlock the achievement for charging up the Ferris wheel for a total of 9 times. 1 more left. There we go. Now we can go ahead and save the little sister, which will complete the challenge room. The second run will basically be a speed run. We'll be skipping the vast majority of the level since we will only need to charge the Ferris wheel 6 times. Like in the previous run, we'll start off by using the lever, respawning at the Vita chamber and then grabbing the shotgun. We'll use the electric bug to open the malfunctioning door. We'll ignore the elevator shaft for now and drop down to the floor below. Here we'll collect the trap bolt from the dead splicer and then take the static discharge before using the elevator shaft to go down to the bottom floor. We won't be using the U-invent, so don't bother collecting any components from the crates or otherwise. And again we'll use an electric bug on the console so the door to the toilets opens up. It takes a bit until the door opens, so we'll just wait. Then we'll lure the splicer inside and use her to electrify the Ferris wheel for a 2nd time. We won't be coming back to the toilets after that. Okay, perfect. Now we'll have to lure the 2nd splicer that's just roaming around. There he is. That's 3 times we've electrified the Ferris wheel. Next we'll be going to the Grand Carnival. This is the wrong direction. Similarly to the previous challenge room, while the time we need to beat is quite tight, we can make a couple of small mistakes. In the carnival, we'll collect the telekinesis plasmids and then the crossbow. I tried jumping over the stall, and while it is possible, it's quite difficult, and it doesn't even save that much time. Now we'll use the safe, which activates the trap, and we'll pull a trap bolt in order to open the safe's door. We don't have to worry about clearing the room from trap bolts. Next we'll pick up a teddy bear, set it on fire, and use it to melt the ice where the electric bug is. We don't have to worry about melting anything else. And finally we'll go back to the kiosk with the body pinned to the wall and get the trap bolt from it. This will be the last thing we'll need before going back to the Ferris wheel control console. As we make our way there, we can take the opportunity to reload both the crossbow and the shotgun. Now we can just expend all available ammo and rescue the little sister. We'll have plenty of time to spare. I'm still advising you to wait until the prompt appears before shooting again. And one last time. Okay, we're done. We've unlocked the final achievement for the second challenge room. Now we just need to wait until the little sister gets off the cabin and rescue her. Great, we've now completed the second challenge room.
Is it safe to go walking now?
Well, this is it for today's episode. Thank you for spending your time with me, and if you have enjoyed it, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. It will really help me a lot. Also, if you have any comments or suggestions, I would love to hear from you. Take care, and until next time.